Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on my channel. I really appreciate it. We have another guitar lesson today. If you find the lesson helpful or you find anything else that I put up on this channel to be useful for you in your music journey, in your playing, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. It makes me feel good. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff. As I've mentioned before in other videos, this material originally is meant as supplementary lesson material for private students, extra lesson material, stuff for them to work on during the week. But I thought, you know what, heck, why not put it up online for everybody and see what sticks, see what people find useful. If you have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section under the video. I will do my best to read and respond. That being said, let's go forward here. More rhythm guitar. My last guitar video was a rhythm video with a focus on playing rhythm and throwing some fancy little noodly licks in at the same time, or in between the strumming. This isn't quite that. This is going to be more straight up rhythm playing. Okay, nothing terribly flashy about it, but good rhythm playing really is the backbone of guitar playing. And what I have found over the years is that a lot of people want to skip over it, get to the flashy stuff, and then they don't really have that solid foundation, that basis for good rhythm playing, which is a big part of what we need to be able to do. So I put a little chord progression together. It's got a lot of basic chords in there with a couple of nice extra little additions that make it kind of funky. And we're going to go through this with a focus on getting the chords to ring out really clearly. It's a long progression as well, so there's also an element of endurance, right? Especially if you're playing an acoustic, it's a little bit harder. And being able to cycle through this progression is going to help build up your stamina for playing longer songs, which is a thing. It takes people by surprise sometimes how tiring it can be to hold these chords for a long time. So a little bit of endurance. I've tried to make it sound interesting. It's not any particular song. It's just a generic chord progression. And what I'm doing here is not so much trying to teach this song or that song. I mean, I do that in my lessons, but more of a focus on how to play the instrument. All right. Now these chords that we're going to be playing, they're all in the key of C. Okay, key of C major, which means that C major, this guy, is going to be our boss chord. Okay, when you're playing in the key of C, let's say in this case, it means that C is the boss chord. Okay, all the other chords work for C. C is the boss. The song isn't really going to sound finished until we come back around and land on that chord. It's like home base. Okay, that's really what that means. It's the center of the piece that we're playing. Now, I'll go through it, I'll play through the whole thing, and then we'll break it down chord by chord, and I'll show you how to do the strumming, and we'll try to get through this so that you're not taking up too much of your day. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, there it is. I hope you like it. I think it sounds kind of nice. So first thing we're going to do is just do a quick review and look at all the chords that we need. Okay, for the most part, they're pretty standard stuff. And the other thing that I want to emphasize here before we go through it, this is what I came up with. All right, now you can take these same chords They're basically all part of a family, and you can mix and match them around in a whole bunch of different ways. Okay, so you can play it through, you can work through it the way I'm giving it to you, but for real, do your own thing with it. You don't even have to use them all. Just take out 2 or 3 of them and make something of your own, or 3 or 4 of them and make something of your own. Always an emphasis on creativity here, okay? So we need a C chord. Now our normal C chord, this is gonna be basic review for most of you, but let's say you're a total beginner. C is 3rd fret on string 5, 2nd fret string 4, open string 3, 1st fret on string 2, open string 1. That's our standard C, but that's not the one that I'm playing. I'm playing a C over G, which means I take that 3rd finger, I plunk him over, bink, over onto string 6, pinky takes over where he was, and then we have this nice big fat 6-string C chord. Okay, so we don't have to be careful about avoiding string 6 while we're strumming. Okay, so that's the C that I'm using. We're using a standard A minor, open A string, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret on the B string, open E string. Nothing fancy, A minor. Okay, we're also using an F, but I'm doing the same trick that I did with the C chord. It's an F over C. I'm taking, now this is probably the trickiest chord, and if you guys struggle with F, if there's anybody out there who can't play a bar chord yet, normally it would be 3, 2, keep them round, then figure out how to squish the 1st finger. So we got 3, 2, squish across 2 strings, and that's our F. Now if you can't get that bar chord and you can only get 3, 2, 1, and then a dead E string, that's okay. Just do that for now. Okay, I'm going to be barring though, and then I'm going to take my 3rd finger and I'm going to move them over to C. I'm going to put my pinky on string 4. So I've got 3rd fret on string 5, 3rd fret on string 4, 2nd fret string 3, squish. 1st fret across 2 strings. Okay, there's my F over C. Now later on in the tune, I'm also just going to be using that standard F. 3rd finger on the D string, 2nd finger, squish. 1st finger, squish. Okay, that bar chord. All right. The other chord I'm going to be using is a standard G chord. I'm going to be using this shape. There's a bunch of different ways to play G, but I'm going to be doing 3rd finger, okay, ring finger on string 6, 2nd finger on string 5, pinky on string 1. Okay, we don't play that one too much in this, but it's coming. All right, we have that guy. I also have E7. Very nice chord, gorgeous. Open string 6, 2nd fret string 5, open string 4, 1st fret string 3, open, open. You can think E major, which you can actually also use. We've got E major, no ring finger. 3rd finger's off. It opens up that D string. Okay? And last but not least, well, almost least, but we'll say last but not least, we have an F minor. Okay, now this is the most, this chord is kind of the odd one out a little bit. It works in this progression. You can try it in other combinations with these chords. It won't always sound great. It tends to sound best coming from an F major, going to that F minor, but whatever, you could be a rule breaker. You could do whatever you want, right? So that F minor, and again, if bar chords are tricky, this one's gonna be hard, but that's life. You gotta try it. We got 3rd finger on the D string, and then a 3-string bar. Squish that 1st finger. So I've got 3rd fret, 1st, 1st, 1st. Okay? That's gonna be that F minor. Now, we've gone over the chords. Okay? Now our strumming. This is what I'm doing. I'm gonna mute my strings and just kind of scratch out that rhythm. I'm doing almost all down strums, and I'm doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up. Okay, on that 4th beat, I'm doing a little down up at the end, a fast little down up strum. Okay, and you'll notice that I'm not strumming every down strum the same strength. I'm doing what we call the down beat a little bit stronger and the up beat a little bit lighter. So I'm going strong, light, and that light strum, I'm releasing my grip on the pick a little bit, not enough that I drop it, but just a little bit, and I'm just brushing. It's just a brush stroke across those strings. A little more meat on that strum, on the first down strum, and then a little brushy echo strum. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we got to come around for that little and at the end. Okay? So that's what we're doing. Ready? We're gonna go on this. Okay. 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and and again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right to that A minor. Now you'll notice I don't pick up my first finger. I don't even really pick up my middle finger. It's only the third finger that needs to come back. Middle finger scooches. Third finger fits right in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to the C over G. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to A minor. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I told you I made it long because it's like an endurance. It's a marathon. Okay. Here we're gonna go for our F over C. Okay, it's that F bad boy right there, that bar chord, but we put the third finger in the pinky, so we have that extra note on the 5th string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and E7 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I think that sounds pretty cool. Back to that A minor. 1 and 2 and G, 3 and 4 and what do I do here? F. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and F minor. So now here, you see I pick that middle finger up from F and I step that first finger across. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1. We play through this one twice. 3 and 4 and C over G. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and this is where the repeat sign would be if we were looking at the sheet, which we're not. This is where we'd start over again. Or if you're done, one last strum on C. And that's it. Okay, hopefully this is useful for you. These chords, again, are all part of a family. You can rearrange them. I would suggest starting on C. It's going to help everything make, if you start on C and finish on C, that's not an always rule. You don't have to do that by any means. Think outside the box. But it's going to help it make sense. It's going to help you to write something that has a beginning and an ending that feel right in your ear. And but mix and match those chords around. Come up with something different. They're all part of that family. Again, the only one in there that's a little tricky to fit in is that F minor. Okay, I'd recommend in the beginning at least trying to fit it in kind of the way I did. F major to F minor and back to that C. That tends to be how we hear it, generally speaking, in songwriting, but you can do your own thing. Go bananas with it. I'll be doing some more videos about with different strumming ideas for more rhythm basics, but that's a pretty good basic down strum pattern. If you like it, again, give me the old thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be putting videos up pretty regularly from here on out. And man, I really appreciate you checking me out, checking this video out. Leave a comment underneath if you're so inclined. And otherwise, cheers. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.